A household in Russia experienced some really bizarre incidents happening during the late hours, and at one point they began suspecting that their grandmother had suddenly begun wandering while asleep. So the household set up a camera in the space, and one evening the following horrifying occurrences were captured. Nobody knows whether their grandmother was taken over by something or if this was simply a stage film by her grandson, but definitely a quite disturbing experience to kick off the evening. Kyle says he's been sharing his residence with a sinister entity for half a year now. From the moment the disturbances started, he's felt the disturbing sensation that someone or something is perpetually observing him. Oddly enough, everything appears to originate from his upper storage area.
Well, I was pouring my coffee. What the f***? Please do not be something weird. I cannot take this shit anymore. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Shit. Stop it. Stop. Nothing in here.
Apparently, the garage isn't the only location these noises are coming from. One afternoon, the moment he walked through the front door, he clearly heard something coming from the basement.
I keep hearing voices. There we go again. Okay.
A freezing voice echoed from his lower floor, with tons of viewers mentioning it resembles a kid's voice. But Kyle has no children living with him. So, what kid is playing down there in his basement? As scary as that moment was, things were heading towards something much worse.
I heard a noise, and I came out here and this door was open and now it just shut by itself. Light. What? What was scaring my freaking mind? Jesus Christ. There's nobody up here.
Following some noise from his garage area, Kyle went to investigate and found his attic door wide open. As he moved closer, it slammed shut without warning. He quickly climbed the ladder to catch whoever was up there, but found nothing. He spun around in a circle, filming all sides of the attic space, proving he was completely alone up there. Who knows what was really going on in there? This footage comes from Leonardo, an employee who spotted some strange figures showing up near the cars parked around him. These things kept vanishing and reappearing, which freaked him out because nothing about them looked like a person. He decided to go live on camera, so people could watch what was happening as it actually occurred.
Lo voy a hacer en vivo porque luego dicen, ya me asustó el gato, luego dicen que es mentiras, pero miren, estoy acá afuera del yunque y miren lo que se mira. No sé si cansan a mirar ustedes, pero mira. Me arrimo. Mira. Mire. ¿Se mira? ¿Es eso? Mira, se mete. Y no son rateros porque ya corrí para atrás, me metí con la troca y cada vez que me arrimo, se mira. ¡Ay! No, hombre. Mira, man. ¡Ay, con su madre! Me siento. Allá está.
Leonardo never figured out where those dark shapes came from, or whether something supernatural was behind it all. Definitely a creepy experience, no doubt about it. This footage comes from a trucker who says he was driving solo on his route when his boss contacted him about someone riding along in his vehicle.
Estimado, ¿sabes que no puedes subir a nadie a la unidad? Por favor, baja a tu acompañante en la siguiente parada.
Chinga, no traigo a nadie.
Estoy viendo la cámara, por favor, bájala en la siguiente parada.
No manches, si vengo solo.
Estoy viendo en la cámara que viene una mujer contigo. Estimado, ¿sabes que no puedes subir a nadie a la unidad? Por favor, baja a tu acompañante en la siguiente parada.
The unsettling thing is that nobody was actually sitting in the cab with him, which means a spirit probably hitched a ride without paying. That's a disturbing idea for sure. People have started posting recordings of strange happenings around a wooded area with cabins located in Mazamitla, Mexico. What you're about to watch is just one example of what many guests have been uploading, claiming these things typically happen in the early morning hour. Someone knocking on the door when nobody's out there, but that wasn't everything. The next day, outside this very same cabin, they managed to record what you're about to hear. At this stage, those screams could reveal not just something supernatural, but possibly a dangerous situation in the area. This incident would mark a turning point for the wooded area, as guests began reporting repeated screams from a woman that seemed to come directly from this abandoned cabin. Actually, there's footage that strangely matches up with these stories.
¿Escuchaste? Hasta mi perro se puso alerta.
But that wasn't all. Among those renting these cabins, many share experiences of feeling watched from the darkness of the forest. In fact, some have already managed to document these types of manifestations. On this occasion, Annie captured evidence of a strange presence behind a massive tree trunk.
No, pero como un globo. Mira, a ver. Mira, cómo funciona. Ya se tomó al otro lado.
No, si es como un globo. No, si es un globo.
Even though those present believed it was a balloon, that thing seemed like something more than that. It appeared to be more of a pale face lurking in the darkness behind that tree trunk. In this area, there are plenty of accounts of apparitions, distant screams, shadows sliding between trees, and presences that make themselves known when the silence becomes thicker than the fog itself. And it seems everything has been getting documented.
No creerán lo que nos pasó. Mi novio y yo fuimos a una cabaña en medio del bosque.
Malvaviscos, con mi novio.
Todo estaba muy normal y tranquilo hasta que decidimos irnos a mimir.
Muy buen día, muy buen día.
Ya, fue un día bastante chido. Está hermoso este lugar. Está bien lindo. Se ve todo esto, el bosque. Ay.
¿Qué pedo?
No sé. ¿No fuiste tú ahí en el piso?
No, mames, no.
¿No fue una ardilla o algo? Escuché un ruido bien raro.
Era como si lanzaran algo a la cabaña. Salimos y no había nadie.
No mames. Pero no hay nadie.
No
manches. No, ya, métete, porque pues, ¿qué otra cosa podemos hacer?
Voy a cortar esto ya,
Vamos. Mi novio quiso salir a ver si había algo o alguien y yo fui con él porque tenía miedo de quedarme sola.
Oigan, ya nos adentramos bastantito aquí al bosque. Vean.
Hasta que...
¡Ay, rodó algo ahí! ¿Lo viste? Ay, no, es así.
Vámonos a
No.
¿Lo vieron?
Nobody has any idea what was out there in the woods with them. Now to another really strange encounter. This was recorded by a nurse inside a hospital, a place that was entirely empty during his overnight shift. However, something started to happen.
This door keeps on opening and closing.
Like, there's nobody here. I'm not doing the sensor. But it keeps on opening and closing. And I'm alone.
A sensor door located off to the side of the hallway began opening and shutting in an unexplainable way with nobody standing nearby. The nurse stopped and watched quietly, trying to understand what was going on. At first he thought it might be a malfunction, but as he observed more carefully, he realized it wasn't just a simple technical glitch. The door moved with exact timing, as if someone were walking past it and triggering the motion sensor. This story begins with a young couple who had achieved what many dream of, purchasing an old house where a new life starts. Everything seemed ideal until gradually unexplainable things started happening. The confused and frightened young man exits his bedroom to check, opens the door, looks outside, and there's nobody, just the echo of quiet, and that frozen feeling of being watched. Curious and now afraid, they decide to set up additional security cameras throughout the house. They wanted evidence and to figure out what was going on, but what they captured exceeded any rational explanation. Days later, while arguing in the kitchen, the impossible manifested itself again.
But they like you a lot.
They're acting rude to me.
They're not trying. That's just how they. Hey.
Multiple objects, dishes, glasses, and utensils fly out violently, as if something unseen was hurling them with rage, and everything seemed to suggest that the house itself had wanted to end the argument, as if that place had awareness. The next footage was captured in the master bedroom. It was nighttime. The young woman was in her bed looking at her phone, waiting for her partner to arrive from work until the following happens. camera shows how the bedroom door starts to move slowly, opening and closing on its own. The young woman thinks it's her partner, but nobody appears, nobody enters. This situation occurred while being completely alone in the home. Exhausted, terrified, and without answers, the couple decides to leave the house at night. To this day, nobody knows if they returned or if they decided to leave forever. What you're about to witness was recorded and posted by a woman who was in the underground facilities of Line 1 of Mexico City's subway system inspecting renovation work. I was during her walkthrough that she managed to hear something.
No hay charola, no se ve charola, entonces... ¿Hay alguien ahí? ¿Están trabajando, chicos? ¿Hay alguien ahí? Chicos. Chuy. Chuy. ¿Hay alguien ahí? Creo que me espantaron. Chuy, ¿hay alguien ahí?
Among the audience, there were those who heard background laughter. Others heard spirit voices. Seconds later, another voice can be heard saying, Valeria, the name of that person who was recording. But that wasn't everything. Almost at the end of the recording, you can hear, keep going forward. Apparently, something was trying to get her attention, as if something or someone wanted her to continue her path, drawing her in, right toward the heart of darkness. A young girl, overcome with curiosity, peered through the blinds of her hotel room. Outside in the darkness, she made out a female shape dressed in black, moving slowly. The shape wasn't in any hurry.
What is it? Someone just told me! What are you talking about?
Plenty of people think it might have been someone attempting to pull a joke and frighten the people staying in those rooms. Others even think it could have been a thief. Definitely not something anyone would hope to witness, that's for sure. Now we want to take another look at the Green Manor, where Mary is documenting all of the mysterious activity that is unfolding in there. This is just one of the videos she managed to record during an evening when out of nowhere, an antique music box activated from the bedroom that belonged to her grandmother before passing from this world. The chilling part of the case is that for that music box to start, someone must physically lift its lid. She was bewildered and knew someone must have opened that box. However, her dread increased with every step she took on her walk, and it's because the old house conveyed an unbearable chill. But that wasn't everything. The situation became increasingly frightening when 2 days later, this happened in her bedroom.
Goosebumps. This has never happened before. Ever. I was meditating right there like I always do. What the I'm genuinely so freaked out. I never get freaked out like this. What the f?
It was beyond frightening. The base of that candle moved persistently, just as if something or someone was touching it. There were those among the comments mentioning it could be the grandmother's spirit attempting to communicate. However, others argued it really could be an imposter entity. And it's because cases have been documented where dark entities pretend to be loved ones just to gain your trust and stay. And even worse if it involves a recent loss. Mary claims that since that evening she's started experiencing sleep paralysis and shadows at the foot of her bed, which had never happened to her before. Until now she continues recording, but warns there are evenings when she doesn't dare even review the captured material. Could it really be her grandmother trying to communicate, or is something else using that memory to manifest itself? Now let's look at the case of David, a contractor from Oakland, California, who runs his own renovation business, and during one of the routine inspections at one of the houses, he would encounter a disturbing scene.
Okay, so my last video wasn't too long, so I pressed a 10-minute icon bit. Anyways, I'm just getting into work, right? Nobody in this unit. I'm the only one besides the owner with the key. The owner lives all the way in New York. I'm in Oakland, California. So this unit had a fire a few years back. This was a little girl's room. This was her room. And I'm like lost for words right now, I'm sorry. Like, crashed my bed, I'm getting chills, the hair standing up on my arms. But the girl that happened to pass away in this unit was 3 years old. Look at what the f is on the ground. Those are not an adult-sized footprint. Going into the wall. This is where her bed was at, right here. I talked to the owner, I video called him and everything. And I've been here and little kids laughing. I just thought it was coming from outside, but it's like a little, I felt something go like this in my ear. And yeah, I hear all the activity coming from that closet. And right here, but this really baffled me. Like I said, nobody else has the keys. There's no kids in here. I lock up everything. It's a 4-unit complex. Nobody's in here. Nobody been in here. There's an alarm system. So we got paranormal activity. Look at these little feet. Look at these little cute little feet. If you're in here, ghosts, I mean no harm. I'm Uncle Dave. You call me Uncle Dave. Just fixing up your room for you. Okay? But yeah, I believe in ghosts. So If you have anything paranormal, share it on Ghost.
The scene that David documented was completely bewildering. Indeed, these were prints that matched the tragic story that had occurred in this house. But that wasn't everything. After David posted this recording on his account, the audience started alerting him about something they had discovered in this video.
You know, but yeah.
And it's because, during a couple of seconds towards the end of the recording, a soft ghostly voice can be heard saying, "Hello." Around 15 seconds later, right when this man was about to finish the recording, that same voice returns.
God is love. 2 letters.
Could it be that David captured, without knowing it, the spirit of the little one who ended her final days in this bedroom? The following video was shared by user Beats by Richie. Richie is a young aspiring music producer, and he mostly shares his creative work on his very own profile. Today, however, we want to check out a recording that Richie described as quite unusual and terrifying. The video was recorded one evening by his girlfriend, and they both were spending the night watching movies and talking about life. The clip starts with Richie relaxing on the bed, and just a brief moment before the short video ends, this appears on video.
Damn, are you checking yourself out?
Come on.
Cock?
A creepy head is visible in the right top corner of the screen, a head of somebody that was not accounted for. It is safe to say that the two were spending the evening alone, so after seeing this, the couple suspected that they might have caught something from another plane, a ghost perhaps. What else could this have been? It does not look like an arm or a body part, making this sighting even more creepy. Do you think they captured something paranormal that night? Now let's take a look at another video from the Dark Dimension. This time we will be looking at a short clip taken on the side of a highway. A group of friends has had their car broken down while on the road, and they are now waiting for help with their car. While they wait, one of the guys decides to pull out his phone and film a bit of the experience. It's not every day you stand on the side of the freeway. He ends up capturing something completely unexpected, however.
தெரியுதாடா அது வெள்ளை ஏதோ தெரியுதுடா தெரியலடா அது ஒரு மறையுது சில நேரத்துல தெரியுது கொஞ்சம் மடிஞ்சிச்சுடா
A woman appears on the side of the highway, dressed in a long white dress. The figure is visible only for a few moments before it disappears into the fog. It also doesn't appear that the group notices the spirit at the moment of filming. What could possibly have been captured here? There doesn't seem to be any explanation other than paranormal that makes much sense. But what is the spirit doing on the side of a busy freeway? Some viewers are speculating that this must be the spirit of someone who passed on in a car crash in this spot, while others wonder if she might have appeared here to warn someone of imminent danger, given her white dress and non-threatening aura. Do you think either of these theories could be true? Or is there another explanation for this eerie sighting?
தெரியுதாடா அது வெள்ளை ஏதோ தெரியுதுடா தெரியலடா அது ஒரு மறையுது சில நேரத்துல தெரியுது கொஞ்சம் மடிஞ்சிச்சுடா.
The next video comes to us from Mysterio GL. Mysterio is a pair of paranormal investigators from Colombia who mostly visit abandoned locations to try and connect with spirits of the departed. In today's video, they are visiting an abandoned school which is said to have unfortunately hosted multiple students and staff who passed away while attending or working at this school. The duo is hoping to communicate with some of these children tonight. They enter the building and immediately they notice that there's a very heavy and creepy vibe.
Buenas. Güey, se escucha como una voz, ¿verdad? Ah. ¿Escuchaste, güey?
Se vio algo acá a este lado, güey. Acá, colombiano, pasó algo ahí.
As the pair is exploring the downstairs of the school, it seems like something might be watching from the upstairs. Some sort of shadow creature can be seen glancing at them from one of the rooms on the upper level. It is almost as if it notices it is being filmed and slips away behind the wall. Pretty creepy. This isn't the only shadow figure the team captures this night. They get to work trying to communicate with the spirits using an ancient tool known as a signing bowl. According to lore, the music created by the bowls is said to appease and attract spirits due to their calming and therapeutic nature. The duo is making their way through the upstairs portion of the building when something terrifying can be seen behind them. Based on the size and speed, this could definitely be the spirit of a child. What do you think? Understandably, the sighting leaves the men feeling very uneasy. They decided shortly after that they will leave the school. However, they do mention they may come back.
Algo pasó por allá. Algo pasó por allá al fondo. No, acá.
¿Dónde?
Acá arriba.
¿A este lado?
Sí, acá arriba. Algo pasó acá arriba, güey. No manches. No, para acá.
Let me know what you guys think.